Hey now.
Hey now.
And welcome back to the show where two childhood friends discuss their favourite childhood movies. I'm Emily Sandford.
And I'm Barney Lee. And whether it's iconic lines, musical moments, or just questionable outfit choices, the films we'll be discussing on our show are unique in their own way. And this week, we'll be discussing Wild Child.
Warning, this episode contains nostalgia and big love for Malibu moments. Who are we? I am obsessed with this film.
Did you ever do the Malibu moments, like out with your friends?
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure. Definitely before we went to the cinema or shopping, it would be like, who are we?
You're 15 and your mum dropped you off at the shopping centre. That's who you are.
Exactly. You have £20 in your life savings.
Oh my gosh, Wild Child. Rewatching this was an absolute joy, and I felt instantly thrown back to 2008. What a good year.
This is such a insight into British childhood,
yeah.
I feel like.
And so many of these films around this time were like American high schools, and it's like the jocks versus the plastics and whatever. And like this is so refreshing because it wasn't like the popular hot girls. It was, oh, they're like super posh British girls. And the way they looked, I felt was quite authentic to how girls looked at the time. They weren't Hollywood-ified.
Yeah.
Is that a word?
Yes, they weren't very LA.
So for anyone who needs a bit of a refresher, Wild Child features Emma Roberts. She plays this character called Poppy. She's from Malibu. She's shipped off to a strict English boarding school by her father, and the whole film is her trying to devise a plan to get expelled so she can get back to her old life.
So this film was directed by Nick Moore.
Yes, and I had a little look at his filmography. He hasn't directed a lot of films. Wild Child was his first in 2008, followed up in 2011 with Horrid Henry the movie, and in 2014, Pudsey the movie.
Oh.
Is that the dog? The Britain's Got Talent dog?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
So not the best, but this guy Nick is also a really accomplished film editor, and he's edited on Love Actually and all these amazing films. So
his name is Nick Moore. Poppy's surname in the film is Poppy Moore.
a bit
Egotistical.
Egotistical, yeah.
Oh.
All right, Nick. The film was released August 2008. It grossed over $2 million in the UK, which is great. You know, this film was supposed to be released in cinemas in America the following summer, and they cancelled it and just chose to release it direct to DVD.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I think this is like such a grounding in like UK culture, but maybe not so much in America. So American listeners, please DM us on Hey Now on Instagram. We'd love to know if this film actually reached you in 2008, 2009.
Definitely. So the person who wrote Wild Child was Lucy Dahl, Roald Dahl's granddaughter.
No way!
Yeah.
That's amazing. Didn't Sophie Dahl marry Jamie Cullum?
She did.
And it was really fun because she was really tall and he was quite short, and it was just like a fun visual pairing.
Oh, yeah. But he's rich and plays the piano.
Yeah, well, she's winning. Yeah.
Exactly. So do you want to tell us a bit about the cast and where they are now?
Yes, absolutely. So Emma Roberts, she plays the main character, Poppy Moore. You would have seen her in We're the Millers and the wannabe sorority queen in Scream Queens. She was also in 4 seasons of American Horror Story. She dated Evan Peters from American Horror Story and even got engaged, but it didn't work out. And now she's recently had her first baby with her fit new boyfriend, actor Garrett Hedlund.
So the baby is called Rhodes Robert Hedlund.
Cute. Is it Road as in like Grease Road?
Yeah.
Oh,
you
cute.
love Rhodes.
Been once for like 3 days. I love Roads. I really do.
Grease is gorgeous.
Grease Tourist Board, if you're listening. I'm sure they just have it on in the background in the office.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, the baby was born on December the 27th, 2020. And the little fact I like about Emma Roberts is that she's the niece of Julia Roberts.
Yes.
Now, Natasha Richardson, she was in this film.
It was her last ever appearance as an actress before she tragically died in 2009.
So sad.
So sad. Our listeners will know her as the mum in The Parent Trap, Elizabeth James.
Amazing. She is my favourite British actress, I'd say, along with Kate Winslet and Emma Thompson. I like
Yeah.
Emma Thompson.
Yeah, no, she's amazing. So she plays Mrs. Kingsley, the nicest headmistress I have ever come across.
Honestly.
So lovely, so understanding, beautiful, and obviously good genes because her son, Freddie, hubba.
Oh, Freddie. Fredster. We can talk about him now. Alex Pettyfer.
Great.
He was my teenage crush, that is for sure.
Yeah.
I actually knew him from Stormbreaker. That sweepy blonde fringe. He was very like surfery vibes, which I was incredibly into. I love surfer boys and I'm really like Surrey. Like, oh, okay.
Never been to the ocean. Oh yeah, man.
What's a
totally.
shell? Wiki. Is that what Sam was saying?
Yeah. He's definitely toned it down from his hot boy days. He's now starring in kind of like indie thrillers and biography films. He's dated a bunch of hot models. He actually dated Emma Roberts after filming Wild Child.
For quite a few months, and then obviously it ended. And there's a really funny fact. He got Emma's name tattooed on his ring finger.
No. Her full name?
Yeah, according to IMDb.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
But then they only dated for a few months. It's like,
That's a lot.
yeah. Having said that, Emma's just had a baby, and now Alex has just announced on Instagram to his 1 million followers that his German model girlfriend, Tony, is expecting a baby.
So his life is pretty in sync with Emma's then.
Yeah.
Let's quickly run through a couple of the other actresses from Wild Child. We had Georgia King as Harriet Bentley, the head girl of Abbey Mount and the mean girl of the school.
And we hate her.
We do hate her. She starred in a number of adapted period dramas like Jane Eyre and Little Dorrit. She was in the American sitcom The New Normal as well, and I actually liked that, and they got cancelled, but it was funny to kind of see her pop up. Kimberly Nixon was Kate, Poppy's roommate.
Yeah.
2008 was a bit of a year for Kimberly. She was not only an incredible student at Abbey Mount, but she got to snog Aaron Taylor Johnson.
What?
In Angus Thongs and Perfect Snogging, she played Laggy Lindsay.
Oh.
Just incredible. She also went on to play foul-mouthed and irresponsible Josie in Fresh Meat.
Okay.
So, yeah, she's done well. Also, it's probably just worth flagging that Shirley Henderson stars as the amazing Scottish matron in Wild Child. She has some really great one-liners as well. There's a really nice scene in the film where Poppy makes some reference to being in Hogwarts, and then the next scene, it's a close-up of matron's face, and obviously Shirley Henderson played Moaning Myrtle in the Harry Potter film, so it was like a nice little like nod to the series.
Very nice. I love little synchronicities like that.
Yeah, and Shirley Henderson's just kind of iconic, isn't she?
So another person I want to talk about is Juno Temple. She played Drippy, our favourite character. I've just got to throw that in now. She's lovely. This is like recent stuff. She's actually currently recording the second season of Ted Lasso. And she's also just worked on a new drama which you can watch on Apple TV with Justin Timberlake called Palmer.
Like Parmesan.
No, just like Palmer.
But it's not about Parmesan.
No, it's spelled Palmer.
I'm not watching it then.
It's not about Italian cheese.
That's great. She's done so well.
And she gets to have sex with Justin Timberlake.
Wow, good for her. Poor Jessica Biel, but yeah. No, I don't like Justin Timberlake after everything he's done to Britney. I don't know if you caught the Britney documentary. So this might turn into a free Britney podcast. I just want to say she does not run her own Instagram. So when you see captions that are like, I didn't watch the full documentary, but the parts I did see, I felt really embarrassed by. Don't believe any captions you read on Britney's Instagram because it is not her writing it. She's not allowed to have a phone. So it's not her typing.
What?
So tune in next week to our new podcast, Free Britney with Barney and Emily.
Yeah, can we get that guy from YouTube who did Leave Britney Alone?
Yes!
Okay, so now we're doing Best Supporting Character. Want to start off by just saying, Mrs. Kingsley, what a babe.
Oh my gosh, she deserves all the awards.
Definitely has a crush on Poppy's dad.
Oh my gosh, I thought they were going to get together.
Yeah, but then how could his daughter and her son get together then? That would be weird.
Bit, yeah.
The second person I want to just quickly touch upon is Mr. Nellis, Roger. He's the French teacher.
Yes.
Very funny, very cute, awkward, and also has a crush on the PE teacher.
Yes, and I have things to say about the PE teacher. There have been a few lesbian undertones, shall we say, with some of her dialogue, even though it's very clear that the love interest is, the French teacher and the PE teacher. There's a couple of things she's like brought up. All of this film is running on stereotypes, but yes, a little bit confusing.
But he's really cute, and bless him, it's so funny when they're sitting in the classroom and Poppy makes up that CD and puts it in, they all start repeating I can't remember what they repeat.
Well, I was going to ask you, so I watched the film with subtitles, and when that scene happened, the subtitles didn't translate what they were saying. So I was seeing Mr. Nellis react and be like, oh my gosh, don't listen. Yeah. But I had no idea what they were saying. I think if I watched the film without having regular subtitles on, then the English translation would have come up. But I missed that. So I kind of missed a joke.
Oh.
So do you remember kind of vaguely what they were repeating?
No, because I borrow my cousin's Netflix and she lives in Norway. So the subtitles on it are in Norwegian. Oh.
I feel like we need a rewatch now without subtitles.
Poor Monsieur. Bless him. Anyway, the next character that I really wanted to discuss was the character played by Nick Frost, who plays Mr. Christopher, who's the village hairdresser.
Yes! Oh my gosh, I was not expecting him to pop up in this film.
No.
He did it so well.
He's got a bit of a French moustache,
He does, but then it was like a rich Scottish accent, right?
Yeah, my Scottish accent is terrible, but he does say a few funny things, which is I want a back wax and a night with Michael Bublé. Sorry, Scotland. But we don't always get what we want. And then there's another moment where he's like, I'd like a night on Fireman Island. It's very funny. Gay man, I'm into it.
Is this a real island?
Fireman Island?
Yeah.
Ooh, hotties only.
That was a really good Scottish accent, by the way.
Think?
Yeah, I was impressed.
Oh.
I want to give a shout out to Drippy. I think she had some of the best lines in this film. I felt bad for her, but she was just kind of unapologetically herself. The botched eyebrow dye situation, sneaking off to raid the fridges in the middle of the night, and also just her complete inability to handle her drink. Let's be honest, Drippy's basically us in our teenage years, to be honest.
Yeah, she slept in Kate's sick. That wasn't mine. It was Kate's. So cute. Aw, you just know that in 5 years' time, Drippy would have the glow up. You know what I mean? She has the frizzy hair now.
Yeah, when Facebook sends you those memories from 10 years ago, and you're like, oh my God, untag, do not need to see that hair. Bless her.
I know.
But we all went through something like that, right?
Definitely. Drippy, aka Jennifer, that was her real name, apparently. You're amazing, and in most iconic quotes, I've got a lot to say about you.
I want to know how she got the nickname Drippy.
Dripping that ice cream from the freezer to wherever she's going.
So unhygienic.
Yeah.
Okay, for me, I have a best supporting character, and she's so amazing that she doesn't even have a credit in the titles. She doesn't have a name.
Okay.
So she's the small ginger first year student that's always kind of hanging around Harriet.
Oh.
And helping her with her schemes, because she has this complete character arc of being terrified of her and doing whatever she says, to then seeing that no, I don't want to be Harriet's
minion.
Yeah, and then she gets her own revenge. The first scene she appears, Harriet storms into her dorm and the little ginger girl is there doing chores or whatever.
Yeah.
And Harriet's like, you may depart, but I still have to turn down your bed. And then Harriet's like, get out! And the girl's like, squeak.
Oh.
It's so funny. And then later she's dyeing Harriet's costume clothes in coffee, and then she unknowingly pours it out onto Poppy's head out the window.
Oh.
And then at the end, when they get their own back on Harriet's packing up her car after she's been expelled, and Harriet's two other friends pop their heads out the window and go, Harriet, we think you forgot this, and holds up the two pheasants that she caught. And they hold their pheasants out the window, and then the little ginger girl pops her head out too, and she goes, me think so too. And then they drop the pheasants down on Harriet, and she goes, Mummy!
Yes, she is best supporting character.
She's a legend. And we don't know her name. Let's give her one now. Penelope Pheasantry.
Penelope Pheasantry.
That sounds like a Bridgerton character.
It does. Mainly because there's someone called Penelope. Bridgerton. R.I.P. Why did they get rid of the main character?
Show respect to the show that made you. I mean, to be honest, I don't know much about his career before Bridgerton, but I feel like this kind of really brought him to the limelight. Like, he hosted Saturday Night Live a few months ago, so like it's obviously elevated his profile so much. Pay respect.
Yeah.
I guess that just means that there's one more spot for Penelope.
Hello, Lady Bridgerton would like to know why Penelope Pheasantry is wearing a coffee-stained dress. Methinks it's fashion.
So next up, let's talk about most iconic outfits. And I think we just need to address how accurate the wardrobe was for the time that they filmed it in.
I thought that everything they were wearing was really nice. It's only now when I look back in 2021, I'm like, oh, we wore that?
We got it so wrong.
I mean, your sister posted something actually on Instagram the other day, and it was like a group shot of her and her besties.
Yeah.
And they were wearing like long tank tops over their skirt with like a belt over the top. Like, not helping with anything. It's just like you had the thick wide belt, and yes, that was like peak fashion, and this film does it so well. I definitely had that outfit as well. Something I couldn't help but notice was in the scene where Poppy is first playing lacrosse and she's got like the pink dice hair tie.
Yes.
Oh my God, you are not a millennial if you didn't own cube hair ties. They were my life.
They were so good.
So pretty.
And it's like, oh, playing Monopoly. Oh no, we've lost the dice. Don't worry, guys, I got you. Like, something that really was quite shocking to me was when the girls went into town and they had all that fun in the cancer research charity shops.
Yeah.
Going in, I think I saw like turquoise cardigans, combat trousers, like a blue blazer, and like a bad leather jacket as well. And then when they go and try and find outfits for the socials, it only got worse.
Yeah, fluffy blue tiaras and like quality street but make it fashion. It was very mismatched.
The only saving grace was, and this might be controversial, but I think Poppy's yellow knitted dog jumper. If you found that in Beyond Retro, you would easily pay like £40-50 for that.
Exactly.
And they were all like, nice jumper, I found it in Lost Property. Okay, I'll keep this and sell it on Depop. Fine by me. Thanks, Hazza.
Hilarious.
Crazy. There's that fashion montage in the shop where they're like customizing the clothes. First of all, don't do that in a charity shop before you've paid for it. Like, you can't like rip off a layer off the skirt. Like, wait, what? Pay for it.
Yeah.
And the customizations did not look any better, I felt.
No. Obviously, they had like the social. The girls show us their outfits when they're like walking down the stairs.
Yeah.
And this was like a movie themed.
Thematic.
Yeah, Mr. Nellis, he did a James Bond reference. So he'd gone as Mr. Bond. Yeah. Harriet, shout out again to her coffee stained Mrs. Darcy outfit.
Yeah, that's a stank.
You are a latte to go.
Yes. That's our social media clip right there.
But there was a guy in a corn on the cob costume, like literally lurking behind Harriet or Drippy talking to a guy. What film is that from?
What film is there a talking corn on the cob? And is it on Netflix? Because that sounds great. I don't know. Also, was the PE teacher supposed to be Sporty Spice?
I think so.
Got it.
She just reused all of her uniform and just...
Yeah.
Ew. But I think the most iconic outfit has to be when Poppy turns up at Abbey Mount and she's got her very half up, half down, bleach blonde hair. She's got her Louis Vuitton bag.
Oh, and it was the one with the coloured logo as well. Oh, that was very of a time.
Yes. She's wearing those white oversized sunglasses, which are from H&M because I had those sunglasses, but in brown.
All right, Willy Wonka. Like, Johnny Depp wants his glasses back.
No, he can't. I love him. And then she's also got like the white blazer with like the blue
kind of like China pattern.
Yeah, floral print.
Yeah.
And I don't want to risk sounding like her horrible friend Ruby, but like, she looks like a porcelain plate. You know?
She also had pink flared skinny jeans, which sounds like such a contradiction. How can they be flared and skinny at the same time? But it happened. She had like a black button vest top. She had a pink skinny scarf that was wrapped around her neck. She also had a red snakeskin handbag on her other shoulder as well. And all that lovely chunky jewelry as well. It was peak 2008 fashion.
Yeah, and I definitely thought when I watched that, like, oh my God, I want to look like her.
Yeah.
Isn't that just like wild?
Child. But at the time, you're right. Like, they were really, really fashionable. And even when she first wears her school uniform, she customizes it completely to kind of make it seem fashion. She cuts her blazer so it's cropped just like by her waist. Gray knee-high school socks. She's wearing like patent leather heels.
Yes, they look like the Carvelas I bought for prom.
Oh.
Yeah. That was probably the most expensive. They were probably like £35, but like... expensive at the time.
Yes.
She had like Jimmy Choos and like Manolos. Yeah, amazing. Like legendary.
Yeah. Should we quickly talk about the school uniforms in the film? Because I think, again, like I was saying before, like the uniforms are not like Hollywood uniforms. These look like very traditional English boarding school uniforms, like has to be below the knee, like blazers on throughout the day. I loved when Poppy customized hers to make it Malibu fashion.
Yeah.
And she like cut her blazer so it was kind of cropped just at her waist. She had grey knee-length socks, black patent leather heels.
Poppy's outfit there would be like, oh my God, I'm going to take a bit of inspo and do that as well when I'm at school.
Yeah.
You know, not the regulation skirt, not the no jewelry allowed, but honey, I'm going to do it. Like as soon as like when I'm walking to school and leaving school, I'm going to be accessorizing.
So next up, let's talk about best musical moment. And I think at the beginning of the film, we are immediately served with a 2008 banger, Shut Up and Drive.
Oh my God, shut up and drive, doo-doo, doo-doo.
Rihanna, come back to music. We're waiting.
I know.
We miss you.
Most of the iconic musical moments that are in this film are in the scene when they have the social.
Oh, that social.
So when the girls reveal their outfits and
they have that kind of almost like choreographed walk down the steps.
I'm into it. And there's a bit of a montage scene too, because before they do that, they're like getting ready and getting a bit drunk. And they walk down the stairs to, I want to say her name right, Ida Core and Fede Legrand. It's the Let Me Think About It. And you all know the one. It's the Let Me Think About It. You say I'm crazy or something. That is the wrong lyrics, but what a great song.
Clearly left an impression on you.
Yeah, it did. I mean, it's actually like a real mood.
Yeah, I mean, if I ever need a song to walk down the stairs in a choreographed fashion, that's the one I'm going to play.
Definitely.
It was wild. They like did a kind of like staggered V. You know how like when birds fly south for the winter, it was kind of like that with Poppy in the front. And they were like pose and go down the steps. Meanwhile, no one's looking at them. Yeah. They're all in another room.
They're just hyping themselves up because the boys' school is there.
Yeah.
Great. We've also got Sugar Babes, About You Now.
Yes, when they were in the charity shop, that fashion montage was put to About You Now. And, you know, I'm going to deduct points because it wasn't the classic Sugar Babes lineup. You know, Mutya, Keisha, and Heidi. It's Amel. But it's still great. I had the CD of it, I remember that.
I could never keep up with Sugar Babes. Like, I was a loyal fan, but the band changed up every time.
Yeah, and it got to a point where there were no original members of the Sugar Babes.
Have you ever got, like, a spot on the top of your lip and been like, oh, great, I look like Mucha? You know her piercing?
I know.
I hate those piercings. Sorry if you have one of those piercings.
We also had Angels by Robbie Williams.
That is a SingStar classic.
Oh my goodness. Yes. My mum's probably all-time favourite song.
Before we say best musical moment, going back to their dance, they play Nelly Furtado, Say It Right.
Yes.
Which is such a good song. She's slow dancing with Freddie.
Yeah.
And then Harriet's like... getting really annoyed in her Mrs. Darcy outfit. And then she thinks she's gonna like ruin their slow dance by playing another song.
Yeah.
But honey, she chose the wrong song.
Or the right song.
But I mean the right song for us, but like, did herself no favours because then we were served the absolute best musical moment of that film, which is Eve Tambourine.
Shake your tambourine and go and get yourself a whistling.
That's it. That was pitch perfect.
Thank you. She slut drops up the social in front of all the boys and all the girls and the teachers. And the gym teacher, I'm sorry, she's living for it. She's like, go girlfriend, you look wicked. Okay. I don't think it's your place, but okay.
Hype girl.
Yeah.
Like, no. Anyway, but that moment is just like, yes. I always wanted a moment like that.
She was doing the most and people were loving it.
Exactly. That really got Alex Pettyfer's attention.
Yeah.
And was probably the reason they started dating. It's a good song to play at the gym, actually. I think that could really, like, make me burn some extra calories on the treadmill.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh my God, could you imagine a wild child dance class at the gym and the soundtrack with just Nelly Furtado, Girls Aloud, Will I Am?
I thought you were going to say, could you imagine a wild child themed birthday? And I was like, yes.
It's called Emily's Next Birthday.
I think so. Shake your tambourine. Shake your tambourine.
I'm going to get you a tambourine for your birthday.
Yeah.
I hope you know that.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so now we're going to do most iconic quote. In the first scene, we are served some absolute gold. Welcome to Malibu, biatch! I'm obsessed with the word biatch, and I want to bring it back.
Oh my God, I was just thinking, like, biatch is kind of fallen out.
Let's reel it back in. Biatch.
Yeah, she also goes the first confrontation between Harriet and Poppy, and Harriet goes, Salve, puella novella. Harriet, head girl. And then she puts her hand out for Poppy to shake, but she doesn't. And she goes, you shake the hand of the head girl out of respect. And then Poppy goes, when the head girl earns my respect, then I'll shake her hand. Biatch.
Yes.
Oh, and then the icing on the cake, Harriet spins on her heels to walk her out. And then on the way, the pheasants that she's got hanging over her shoulders slap Poppy in the face. I mean, could you imagine being slapped in the face with dead birds?
Like, literally, welcome to England. Poppy was not excited about going to England. And when she is with Ruby, kind of like packing her stuff and has like given Ruby her Jimmy Choos, what a great friend. She's like, in England, it rains 200 days of the year. Yeah, our prime minister is also potato. Like, there is some really bad things about our country.
Yeah, there's things worse than the rain. When
Poppy meets Mrs. Kingsley for the first time and she like rolls down the window in her car and Mrs. Kingsley is like, she waves her finger. Lesson number 1, Poppy. To me, negotiation is like a nightclub, not something I intend to enter. I love it. She has got so many good lines like that. Another one, which is when Poppy's been bad and she just storms into Miss Kingsley's office and she doesn't knock. And Miss Kingsley's like, go back out and knock. You have to knock before you get into my office. And she just goes, Jesus Christ. And Miss Kingsley goes, oh dear, we were believed he had a beard and sandals. Now we'll have to change the stained glass window in the school's chapel.
Actually, on the note of Jesus, there's another reference when the girls are in the dorm. And I think it's Drippy that says, key information, if it's the Wagon Wheel versus the Rolex, the Wagon Wheel is going to trounce it every time. And Poppy's like, what's a Wagon Wheel? And Drippy goes, Jesu Christi, you have not lived.
I'm obsessed with that quote. Ew, that's carbs and sugar. What a revelation. I had no idea.
I do love a Wagon Wheel.
Oh, honey, we'll talk about that. Can we discuss?
Yeah, I mean, these girls between them have some of the most incredible dialogue. Like, can I just reel off a few that have been living in my head rent-free? Poppy's like, no signal? How am I going to call my therapist? And the girls will, like, scoff. Sorry, mental health is real. Why are you... Sorry, this girl has had a traumatic past. She's just been shipped off across the other side of the world. Her mum tragically died when Poppy was a young age. The girls are, like, scoffing, like, oh, sorry... I need to get in touch with my bereavement counselor.
Yeah, Poppy is kind of cutting. I'll be honest, like, I can't fully sympathize with her in the beginning of the film or like when she starts Abbey Mount because she's not very nice. Like, she is a bit of a grade 1 a-hole with an attitude, no problem. You know, like she calls everyone else. And she says to Kate, she's like, I choose my friends and FYI, you don't make the cut. And then Kate's like, and I'm sure that comment would sting a lot more if I knew what FYI means.
And she also has that when she first meets Matron and calls her the help. The matron's like, no mufti for a week. And obviously, Poppy has never heard the word mufti before. And she goes, fine by me. Mufti might be your thing, lady, but it sure ain't mine. And then someone else in dorm's like, she means no home clothes for a week.
Basically, we've got loads of non-British people who listen to this podcast. Mufti Day is when you can wear your own clothes
At
to
school. Because traditionally you would have a school uniform.
Yeah.
Every day.
Exactly. There's actually a really funny quote which I want to mention, which is when Poppy is talking to Matron and thinks she's like the staff, like the cleaner.
Yeah.
And he's like, whoa, hands off, mama. I said hands off. Habla español, pesito italiano. And then she's like, I am Scottish. So funny.
That was amazing. Amazing. And then also kind of in those first few scenes where Poppy's adjusting, the other, I think Drippy's talking to Kate and they're just trying to work out whether Poppy's had sex before.
Yeah.
And Kate's like, do you think she's done it? And Drippy's like, she's definitely done the missionary and almost certainly the Lebanese fulcrum, I can tell. I was like, what is the Lebanese fulcrum?
Did you Google it?
I Googled it.
Okay.
And I wish I hadn't.
Oh, no.
Okay, essentially, one partner lies face down.
Okay.
With their backside lifted into the air to form a fulcrum. And the second partner balances face down on the first's backside whilst doing bits from behind. Imagine the first person is the base of a seesaw and the second person is like the plank that's like fulcruming on the person's bum. So yeah, I kind of wish I didn't look into that. And also surprised it made Wild Child, which I think was like a PG film.
Oh, okay then.
Yeah.
Nick Moore.
Loves the Lebanese fulcrum.
Exclusive. Sends to TMI.
TMZ?
TMZ. Yeah, but it was TMI.
But it was TMI. Good save. Also, Drippy, just she is a fountain of iconic quotes when they are going into the shop to try and buy alcohol.
Yes, can we do the two lines?
Should we do it back and forth?
I think so. Do you want me to be Drippy?
You can be Drippy, I'll be Kate.
Okay. So, Susan, do you like your new office?
I don't know what's worse, my job or that husband of mine.
Keith from accounts is driving me crazy. He wants that report on his desk by Thursday.
What's the report about?
Business. Do you want to buy a carpet tomorrow?
Yes, after I've dropped the kids off at the pool. And then she's like, oh, and then she's like, in my saloon car. This is what she thinks adults have conversations about.
They do not get the alcohol, but they do get 2 cream eggs.
Yes, and that's another quote. I mean, Josie's kind of the side character, but she has a really great line. Kate, after they get kind of kicked out the shop, Kate's like, why did you order the cream eggs, idiot? And then Josie comes out with, and why did you only get 2, Drippy? Now we've got to quarter them. We're not thinking about the...
No, I'm obsessed. But I feel like Josie, she really has some amazing like comebacks to a lot of things because there's that part in the film where they're really upset because they found out that supposedly Poppy has written these awful emails to Ruby in the States because Harriet hacked her in the ICT room. Yeah. And they realised it wasn't actually Poppy. And Drippy was like, she wouldn't call it a term. She calls it a samosa or something. And then Josie's like, semester.
Sassy.
So good.
So good. But I think we're in agreement. The most iconic quote has to be
Oh, it's when they're playing lacrosse and Poppy is talking to Harriet. Freddie's watching and Poppy goes to Harriet, "Ooh, do you love Fredster? Do you want to kiss Fredster on the lips? Don't be so immature. Don't try to hide it, honey. We've got ourselves a Sula. Sweaty upper lip alert." Sula! Poppy invented Sula. I've used that for my whole life. Haven't you? Well, since 2008.
You know what? No, my rewatching reminded me of it. But no, this has passed me by. I think it's a bit different because I've got the moustache stubble going, but I've never thought of it. A Sula is like a legit issue for some girls.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, Alex Pettyfer will probably give me a Sula.
Any phrase that has an acronym is pure gold. So I am so glad to award most iconic quotes to Sula.
Woo!
Get dabbing, girls. So our final category is Can We Discuss? And there is definitely a few things that we need to touch on for this film.
Oh, honey. I want to start with in the beginning scene when Poppy's hosting this house party because she's so upset that Rosemary, her dad Jerry's new girlfriend, is arriving at the house. Mm-hmm. She kind of signals to everyone to, like, you know, walk to the front of the house because the Malibu removal service is arriving.
Yeah.
And she's like, take what you want. And it's like, why would I want to take anything that's in that van? Oh, a pelvic floor squeezer and a gimbal and like pre-used clothes that have been worn by a 50-year-old woman.
Yes.
No.
Yeah, and the kids are just kind of just like lifting them out. And then like, who's actually, we don't see anyone taking them.
And the guys, like, what are you doing with that?
Yeah, the removal men also are like just kind of letting it happen. Surely they'd be like, I don't think you should be doing that. Then like, we're going to get in trouble.
Yeah, exactly.
Just didn't give it a darn.
A dump, yeah, exactly. She could have just been like, everyone take it outside, throw it in the ocean.
Yeah.
Like,
and then, you know, the dad comes out and goes ballistic. And he's like, right, that's it. You're going to boarding school. And she's like, just because mom went to English boarding school and, you know, turned out good doesn't mean I am. And then later in the film, she supposedly has this amazing revelation that her mom went to that exact same boarding school. And it was like, oh, I had no idea my mom went here. Like, why didn't you tell me? I am so confused because I thought it was common knowledge that she was going to the same school as the mum. Like, I don't know, the dad and Poppy were talking about it at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
So I didn't necessarily feel like that was such like a moment.
My parents, and this is probably a very British thing, used to use the boarding school threat on me a lot when I was younger. Like, if you don't behave, you're going to boarding school.
Yeah.
This is like zero offense to anyone who's been to boarding school. But I always used to think that if you went to boarding school, like, your parents didn't love you. Well, it's true. Like, they don't want to see you 5 days a week.
Yeah, they didn't want you around.
And they have to be there on the weekends as well. I don't know. And actually, in the lacrosse final, Abbey Mount play a boarding school called Stowe, and my housemate at uni went to Stowe.
Oh!
And she loved boarding school, from what I remember.
Yeah.
So I feel like people who did go to boarding school were obsessed with it.
And it was like their entire personality.
Yeah.
Like, Poppy and Ruby freak out after going on the school's website. This school is literally Hogwarts. It's beautiful. They're like, oh no, Daddy's paying to send me to an expensive boarding school. Skull.
That's the season's Bort right there.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's just this incredible boarding school. Like, excuse me, you get to fly across the country, you like live in this countryside. It's like beautiful. Enjoy it. Oh no, it's made of brick. Ah!
Now, speaking of like British stuff, I do think we need to talk about the Wagon Wheel. It is an elite biscuit. For people who do not know what a wagon wheel is, it is like a very sugary round biscuit, kind of big.
Yeah.
It's like covered with marshmallow fluff.
Yeah.
And then it's encased in like a very cheap milk chocolate. I really want a wagon wheel.
Oh, they are amazing.
And just like Poppy says, it is, just sugar and carbs. But it's very nice.
Worth it.
And it was a great day if I had that in my packed lunch. That and Sunny D. Do you remember when Sunny D got banned because someone turned yellow?
Yellow. But how much were they drinking?
I wonder how far flung that rumour has spread. DM us if you knew that Sunny D made you yellow.
And also, did you hear about the kid who got a pencil up their nose and it touched their brain? Like, all these rumours that come from nothing. Or the kid that was rocking back in their chair and cracked their head open on the floor because they rocked too hard. Okay, good one, teachers. Sorry, on the subject of food, can we talk about the chip butty that Freddie decides to present to Poppy on their first date in the pub? Sorry, how are they getting into that pub?
Don't know.
Was it
It's his looks.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. And he's like, oh, you've got to try the chip butty. And I will admit, I don't think I have had a chip butty before, but I'm pretty sure you don't fold one slice of bread in half to eat it. You would have a normal, like, 2 bread sandwich and put chips in the middle.
Yeah.
So I didn't like that. Chip, but aren't you supposed to be whining and dining me?
Yeah.
It's like that.
You've got Abbey Mount money.
Yes! Convertible money. Like, go to school. Why are you just driving around the girls' grounds? Like,
there's something else that we have to mention, and it's kind of like the lingo that they use in this film. This is what makes it really like resonate. It's not just the iconic outfits, it's not the incredible British selection of music. It is like the words that they use.
Yeah.
And apparently like the girls who played Poppy's friends, they rehearsed for this by going to listen in on libraries where girls were studying for the A-levels, like the words they would use or something.
No way. So just listening out to hear other people's conversations and
like
picking the words.
Exactly. And the one word I really wanted to discuss was butters. Drippy uses this when she's had her eyebrows waxed and she's like, oh, that is butters. Better not stop me pulling at the social. So funny.
So of its time. Also, side note, I thought her eyebrows looked fine.
Oh, they're very now.
Yeah, they were dark and thick. I think that's what every girl's looking for.
Yeah.
Fine, but butters and pulling at the social.
So British.
Luckily, she did. I also love the word Heridius. Who's Ruby? Just some Heridius cow I used to know. When I typed it, I got the red squiggle under Heridius. I don't think it's a real word, and I'm so upset, but I will be using it.
You know where Harriet has she's got her most iconic character, best supporting character, to throw out that like
The
coffee water on Poppy.
Yeah.
And she's like, she's like stuck her middle finger up at her and been like, yes, I'll show you my hall pass or whatever.
Yeah.
And then she runs in to try and contact Ruby when Kate has said, oh, there's better here, use my phone, call your therapist, whatever. There's better signal above the cupboard.
Yeah.
And she FaceTimes Ruby and Ruby serves this really funny quote.
You said FaceTime, but it was actually a pre-recorded video message that she just texted to the friend, like, that is so 2008.
Ruby is with Roddy and she goes, ew, what does she look like? Zero lip gloss. And where's her jumper from? Target? And she's like, means Target. Yeah. And I'm like, oh my God, that's like us when we talk about Primark, when people are like pre-marché.
Yeah, and maybe the more recent microwave from Nigella.
Oh, I'm just going to put my chip buddy in the microwave.
I'm now serving this chip boutte from the microwave. Price? £1,000. I'll take 10! Okay, now it's time for our trivia round. Emily, are you ready?
Oh, it's on like Donkey Kong.
Okay, you go first.
All right. What sandwich is Molly making in the opening sequence?
Ooh, it's a PB&J.
Who are we?
Because she has that line like, who's gonna cut the crust? Bitch, you're 12. Cut them yourself.
Yeah. Also, what is wrong with the crust? I never understand that.
It's just more food.
Yeah.
Eat it.
Yeah, exactly.
What does Poppy's lighter say down the side?
I love LA.
Yes.
Who are we?
Yeah.
And it's so confusing because we never see her smoke. Why does she have a lighter?
Yeah, why does she have that?
I don't know. Candles?
Incense sticks?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. When was Abbey Mount founded?
Oh, my God. 1756.
Jesu Christi.
No, 1797.
Oh. Wow, I can't believe I got the century.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to stay at that boarding school because it would be haunted.
Yes, and
AF.
fire hazard, as we both well know.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, here's another age one for you. How old was Poppy when her mum died?
I want to say she 11.
Yes!
Who are we?
Was it 11?
Her mum died when she was 11!
Oh,
Oh, it's just sad.
it's really sad. Okay, what book does Mrs. Kingsley lend to Poppy?
Alice in Wonderland.
Yes.
Who are we?
And apparently there are a few references to Alice in Wonderland in this film. One of them being that in the Alice in Wonderland book, the family who's in it are called the Kingsleys, and that's why she's Mrs. Kingsley.
Oh, I like that. And did you also catch that reference to Freaky Friday?
Yes.
Which was a book at the time. So
yeah.
so that was fun.
I like it.
Okay, I've got to finish the quote for you. And
Oh
it's
my
a
God.
really fun one. I honestly, if you get any of it, you will get
Okay.
1,000 points. Okay, so I'll signal to you when you got to finish the quote.
Okay.
Who are we? Abbey Mount. Who are we? Abbey Mount. What are we?
my
And
God.
Drippy goes,
Oh no, what does Drippy say? Wagon Wheel obsessed.
Jesu Christi.
you get a half point for that.
Okay.
She goes, a leading single-sex school admitting boarders at age 11.
Yes. Oh, there was no way I was going to get that. What?
It's at the lacrosse final, and they do the New Zealand Hakka ceremonial
Yes.
dance, which is so problematic, like cultural appropriation much.
I know. There's lots of like cross in like 90s and noughties films. There's a lot of like big
cannot
black
do that.
X's we've got to like.
Yeah, and not only is it cultural appropriation, they also incorporated like hip rolls and like kind of like slut drop squats into the dance. And I'm like, oh, that's going to be so offensive to so many people.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so my question: what religion is Poppy?
Pescatarian? I don't know.
Jesu Christi.
She's Buddhist.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
So I feel like Poppy is very ahead of her time. She's got like the LED light therapy for her face.
Yeah.
Yes, we all love that now.
Yeah,
She's Buddhist.
yeah. She was ahead of her time.
She's ahead of. I love a bit of like A New Earth by Eckhart Tolle. So go girl, I'm into it.
Great. Okay, I knew that, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. When Poppy asks Freddie if he's gay, how does he respond?
He says, "No, I'm just British."
Who are we?
No, I'm just English.
Oh yeah, no, I'm just English.
Got it.
Okay, my final question. Who did Freddie say Harriet looked exactly like, according to Harriet?
Who did Freddie say Harriet looked just like, according to Harriet?
Yeah.
Oh, Keira Knightley in Pride and Prejudice.
Yes.
Who are we?
Yeah, she wishes.
She wishes. Do you know that Keira Knightley went to our college? And so did Tom Holland. So
Sixth form college.
yeah, Isha College. So I'm just saying, legends.
Yes,
Go to
legends
Isha
were
College.
born at Isha College. Wow.
Yeah. But both of them dropped out because they became famous.
Whoa. Okay, my final question to you. Who does Poppy say that Harriet has dressed as for the movie night social? So Harriet says to Poppy, "What are you doing? This is a themed costume party, not a dwarf prostitute convention." Not okay, but okay. Well, all right. And then Poppy goes, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I must say, you look incredible. You make an excellent blank."
Shrek.
Yes!
Who are we?
You make an excellent Shrek.
Oh,
Not even Princess Fiona, it's Shrek.
that is so funny.
Oh, this film.
I'm so glad that we've discussed this film.
And thank you so much to our listeners for suggesting that we review it, because so quotable. The fashions, the music, everything. I feel like I'm reliving my tragic youth.
Oh, 100%.
If you haven't already, we would love a rate and review on Apple Podcasts. It really helps our podcast get discovered.
So give us a follow wherever you listen to your podcast. We would adore that.
And don't forget to check out our Instagram handle at HeyNowHeyNow. We post nostalgic pictures that'll just get you through the week.
And if you don't follow the Instagram, you're a biatch. Anyway, I think it's time for a Malibu moment.